Guys, Raizan is here and time to test him in Abyss. Now, I will be doing this test as A0 Raizan. It took me around 600 summons to pull him, but if you guys want an A1 test of him, I will try to buy some more summons and get him A1, but the most important thing is, for this test, I tried to change my builds so that Raizan would get the penetration and I would maximize the damage from Wukong and Raizan, because the comparison will be between these two guys, Wukong and Raizan. Why am I saying this? Well, I will do the run until the second magical shield. So 2 physical phases, not the third one. Why? Because with the current builds I have, trying to maximize the damage on these two guys is not ideal. It's not the best way you could build the team. I'm running Nastia with really low attack just so that she doesn't steal the penetration. So the penetration on Raizan. So it's not how you would usually run this team. And I want to the test to be as plain as possible. So only 2 physical phases. That will be around 40k damage. I will explain everything during the video. I will just do a voiceover while I record it. And let me show you guys the build. As I've said, since I want this test to be as objective as possible, I built both of them in Arcana, no Cataclysm, no nothing, and similar stats. So 345 crit damage, 350 crit damage, pretty similar, a bit faster. Now, Blade Color and exclusive. One important thing that people are not really talking about is Raizan doesn't have an exclusive at the moment, and he already does pretty big numbers. Keep this in mind because once he gets exclusive, he might actually be super solid in most of the boss content. Right now, the issue with Wukong in Abyss is that the boss AoE is always killing his clone, so he's not maximizing his damage. In other content, Wukong will most likely be better than Raizan, but we care about Abyss this time. So let's jump into the run. So here we have the run. As I've said before, I'm just maximizing Raizan and Wukong damage. It's not the best timings, it's not the ideal way to go in Abyss, but it's the best way to test the damage. So let's give it a go. I will move myself to the right so you guys can see the ultimates, but the main thing to keep in mind is you are not really trying to do what I'm doing here, because Nastia, it's a really low attack, so her damage is way lower, and also the issue Raizan has is he's a marksman, so his attack is way lower than fighters. It's really hard to trick the penetration to go into him instead of mages or fighters. Mages or fighters tend to have higher attack numbers, so the penetration from the Ochang usually goes into them. Now at A1, Raizan gets, if I remember correctly, 20% penetration. This could actually mean that even if he doesn't get the penetration from the Ochang, because I think they both stack, even if he doesn't get it, he will be getting a pretty big number, a pretty big penetration number. So that could actually be really interesting in Abyss, where penetration is super OP. As far as the damage, you guys will see when the run ends that my Kigiri damage is way lower. 2 reasons. First, I'm not timing his ultimate properly, and second, I'm only ulting with him to break the shields and try to get my Wukong and Raizan ultimate to have good timings. What do I mean by this? For example, sometimes you will use Wukong ultimate to break a shield, or in this case Raizan ultimate to break a shield, and then save up Kigiri ultimate for the big burst of damage. In this case, since I'm testing the damages, I went and break all the shields with Kigiri, not with Wukong, not with Raizan, just so that the test would be fair and wouldn't be biased by that damage. You guys saw right there a part of the damage which doesn't reflect the total damage of the fight, but I've noticed that one of the issues with Raizan is if you don't build him with Rage, you cannot really ult twice with him on every physical phase. That kinda sucks, but I don't know if I can fix it with Rage or maybe with Cataclysm. I don't really know. But those are the two physical phases. I died here because I wasn't able to break this shield only with Numera since my Nastia is on really low attack. That's something you guys have to keep in mind. And this is the final numbers. As I've said, Kigiri is really low just because I was breaking the shields with him and not timing his passive procs. Also he's A3. But you guys can see 88 millions from Wukong, 67 from Raizan. What do I think about this? Well, I think if you don't have A5 Wukong, he's a no-brainer, okay? If you have A3 Numera, Numera will be 100% higher than him. Keep in mind that Numera doesn't have the outchamp penetration. If she had it, she would be higher than Raizan. And also, my Numera is wearing leftover year. The good year is on Wukong and Raizan, so they are both wearing the best year. If Raizan was A1, I'm pretty sure he would do the same damage as Wukong, if not a bit higher. Penetration is super good in Abyss, keep that in mind, guys. But yeah, this is the damage numbers. I don't know what you guys think. I think it's pretty solid. Let me go and show you the game. But I don't know. Once you get the A1, you get 20% penetration here. I think this will make such a huge difference. The issue is that it's hard to really compete with Wukong and with Kigiri. However, when you get him A5, he will 100% be way better than, I don't know if Kigiri, but Wukong. Like, he will just obliterate the damage that Kigiri does. And if we get a really good exclusive for him, he will actually be way better than Wukong. I would say that if you're not hitting 60k and you really need another DPS, this banner should be just a no-brainer. You should 100% pull on it. But it's hard to justify pulling for him if you already do 60k, because for example on my account, best records, I already do 70k with this team and I cannot really fit him in my team. The only reason why I ended up pulling for him is because maybe in the future he's actually used in some content and I always like to future-proof my account, but I don't know. I will be reading every single of you guys in the comments, as I always do, and let me know what you guys think about this guy. I think he's pretty cool, but let's be real, the content we all care about, the content we all like is zombie invasion. We don't care about banners, we just want to have this event. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow we have the Rygar Carnelian banner. I think the Raizan is actually better with Rygar than with Torodor, but I feel like it's not fair testing him with Rygar A2 when a lot of people don't have Rygar A2, because let's go into here, where is Rygar? Right here. At A2, all the team has extra speed. He also gives extra speed right here. There we go. And some of you guys don't know, but Rygar extra speed is actually similar to Torodor extra hits. Like, the difference is not really big. They pretty much do the same, but Rygar is slightly better. I just don't feel like the test would be fair with Rygar. The problem is we would actually lose the defense. Oh no, okay, he has defense down, but you should build him with a speed. I don't know. I don't feel like testing with Rygar is fair or useful for most of the player base. We got the lore selector pack where we could actually pick a lore, and a lot of people picked Torodor, so I think Torodor is the way to test him. If you have Rygar, use Rygar instead. You have to build him with high HP. He will be your meteorite tank, so build him with Forsaken Key, high HP and really high speed, because Rygar is the one dealing with the defense reduction on the boss. So yeah guys, that's it for today. Anything I forget, if I forgot anything about Rygar, about this guy kid, Raizan kid, let me know in the comments, because it's all super complex. I went through the kit really fast, so I might have missed something, but yeah, this is it, guys. This is the test. Pretty good damage. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you. Bye.